Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you how I made this moist and decadent chocolate banana bread. It is super easy and every bite takes you to paradise, I promise. Come with me and I'll show you how I made this. To kick off, get yourself some very ripe bananas, extremely ripe bananas. You can see these ones are black outside. They look like they are spoiled, but they are not. I left them in the freezer for a while, hence they look. But you want them to be very ripe. They help to add moisture, flavor to your bread. At the very least, it should be this way, spotted, but it has to be really ripe. 4 medium-sized bananas or 2 large ones works. You just peel all of that into your bowl and mash with a fork. I like to use 2 forks because it's easier to mash this way. Just give it a good mash and aside for our baking proper. I don't like to mash my bananas very smooth because I like to see streak of bananas in my loaf when I'm done baking. So if you like it very smooth, I don't want to see any, go ahead and mash it really well. I will drop the detailed recipe in the description box below. Please check it out. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you. Now let's get our wet ingredients together. In the bowl I have melted butter. To that I'm adding granulated sugar and brown sugar. Give that a good mix. Stir that together. Get your oil in. Vegetable or canola oil works. Try to stay clear from olive oil and the likes because they have some sort of flavor to them and might be too strong and overwhelming for your loaf. Get that in and just stir until it's already combined. Time to mix in 2 eggs. Give that a good mix. And then introduce the chief ingredients, our mashed bananas. Some yogurt for extra moisture. And then we are done with all our wet ingredients. Go ahead and combine that thoroughly. So for our dry ingredients, we have 1¼ cup of all-purpose flour. Add some salt, half a teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and then some unsweetened natural cocoa powder. If you want a more intense chocolate flavor to this, get your hands on some Dutch processed cocoa powder. Go ahead and thoroughly mix this together. You want to make sure they incorporate very well so that you don't over mix when you finally try to combine the wet and the dry ingredients together. I added a teaspoon of almond extract. You could totally use whatever you have, chocolate extract, vanilla extract, anyone that you prefer. But I'm using almond because I've always loved almond extract for my banana bread, so I thought why not. Go ahead and mix your wet and dry ingredients together. I switched to a spatula because, like I said earlier, you don't want to overwork this batter. You don't want to overmix it. So just gently fold the dry ingredients into the wet one till you just see maybe just some few streaks of powder here and there. We would complete the mixing when we add our chocolate chips. I'm using half of the chocolate chips this recipe called for. The other half will be used to garnish the top of our batter when we finally transfer to the baking pan. So you can see I've added the chocolate chips. I'm finally just giving it that good last mix till it's all combined, and then we're good to go. Now look at that batter. See how thick and wet it looks. That's what your batter should look like. Spoon that into a 9 by 5 inches loaf pan and bake at 350 Fahrenheit for 40 to 50 minutes, depending on the type of oven you are using and where you're baking from. But I baked mine for exactly 45 minutes and it was done. So you just keep an eye on it from 40 minutes upwards. A skewer should come out clean when this is done, or just slightly moist if it hits the chocolate chips in the loaf. To retain the crust around the edges, allow it cool in the pan for just 15 minutes and get it out. No longer than that, else it becomes moist. Now see how decadent and delicious this loaf looks. Crust around the edge is perfect, moist inside, and then see the streak of bananas. Like I wanted it. It came out just the way I wanted it. Perfect. With every bite, you get that melted chocolate chips inside. It's just absolutely beautiful. I tell you, you'll be tempted to finish everything all by yourself. Your chocolate banana bread will keep on the counter for 2 to 3 days, and then you can put it in a ziploc bag and keep in the fridge for 2 weeks. That's if it survives that day, to be honest, because you will be so tempted. I promise you. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you learned something from this video, and I would love to see you try this. Please tag me in your video, tag me in your photos on social media. My handles are just in the description box. Like this video, don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you so much for sticking around. See you next time.